The most southern prospects, the South Grid and the Nightcrawler Creek Zone, they're road accessible. They're at a little bit lower elevation, so they're probably where we can get in first and just drive up to the drill sites effectively.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Jason Bahnsen. He's the CEO of Happy Creek Minerals. Jason, great to speak with you. You've announced a 10,000-meter exploration drilling program at your Fox Tungsten project in British Columbia. Take us through what's planned there.
Yes, well, at Fox, it's a 100% owned project, large-scale project, district scale, about 139 square kilometers. And we acquired the project in 2006. Did several campaigns of drilling, published a resource in 2018, about 1 million tons totaled of indicated and inferred, around 1% on a combined grade, which is very, very high grade. This is one of the highest grade tungsten deposits, certainly in North America, and one of the higher grade in the world. So this drilling program is really to expand that resource. And, you know, the interesting thing about this initial maiden resource we put out in 2018, more than 50% of it was in an indicated category. So a very high level of confidence for an initial maiden resource. Now, that resource was also on one particular area, called the BKRC BN zone. And it was all at one horizon. And on this project, the tungsten mineralization forms in these calc-silicate horizons. And so that whole 1 million ton plus resource was really only on one horizon. So since that time, we've identified multiple new horizons, look very similar, up to 20 meters in thickness. These zones are quite flat line and show good grades. And so we found 3 more horizons spaced about 50 meters apart in what we're calling the upper zones. And that has the potential to more than replicate that current resource just at that location. And also at the other areas where we had previously drilled, Nightcrawler and South Grid, it previously wasn't drilled to the density required to do an NI 43-101 report, so we think there's more tons to grab there. And this whole belt is over 10 kilometers of total mineralization, so there's a tremendous amount of upside and what could create one of the larger tungsten and higher grade tungsten deposits, certainly in North America.
When would you expect to kick off the exploration project, Jason?
Well, the project is at some elevation, up to about 4,600 feet, and so it's winter now, and we'll be kicking off as soon as we can get in there. The most southern prospects, the South Grid and the Nightcrawler Creek Zone, they're road accessible. They're at a little bit lower elevation, so they're probably where we can get in first and just drive up to the drill sites effectively. The higher elevation stuff, which is the upper zones of the BKRC zones, we'll have to wait probably till later June, early July before we can get up there. We previously drilled that with helicopter support to do that drilling. It's a short, just given the road access. And we have an exemption to do that in previous campaigns, and that's the way we'll be tackling that higher zone. But the company is also in discussions for some time with both First Nations and government groups about extending a trail access, or ground access, to join effectively that Nightcrawler zones where we have road access now to the upper level zones. So that's something that takes time. We're dealing with the discussions and getting a permit for that. So we'll start off with the helicopter. Ideally, if the track comes in later, we'll be well positioned.
And Jason, I mean, you talk about this high-grade tungsten that you're seeing there. Talk to us about the demand for tungsten. It is a critical metal, so clearly a critical project for the company.
It's absolutely, and I think as we see demand in critical metals grow, and there's also a number of programs to seek funding in that, U.S. defense and a variety of sort of programs we're going to start going down the track on. So this is what stands out with this particular project. It's very, very high grade. It's also the accessibility is very good. It's not in the extreme north or anything there. It's very close to 100 Mile House. It's relatively concentrated in one location. We got power nearby. All those sort of things you need to potentially develop a future mine. So tungsten, I mean, this is for as far as we know, one of the highest grade in North America. Absolutely. We currently have 1 million tons. Now, if we can expand that to a 3 to 5 million ton range, then it becomes a very significant deposit globally. So I think tungsten and other critical metals are going to continue to be in demand. The North American source aspect to this is very, very important as we see people looking for more North American reliable, good solid jurisdictions like British Columbia. So I think this project has a very promising future. It's going to be our flagship project. Now we've sold Highland Valley, the copper project, to Metal Energy, and I see they have an announcement out today, and congratulate them on moving quickly on that project. But I think we've been in a process where we've been streamlining the strategy of the company. We have a great outcome with Highland Valley that allows us to focus on the Fox Tungsten project and our other projects, Silver Boss and RTL. So lots more news coming up, I guess, Stephen. I could keep going, but we got lots more news in the pipeline here.
I'm sure we'll be chatting again in the near future. Jason, thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
That's Jason Bahnsen. He's the CEO of Happy Creek Minerals.